Hey guys, I'm Michael Allen.
And I'm D'Angelo for TravelCostaRicaNow.com.
Guys, this is a video about our most frequently asked questions in emails. Not we have on our site we have frequently asked questions, but these are the emails we get. How many emails would you say we get a week?
Oh, we get a lot. I'm not sure.
100?
Oh, yeah, we get a lot.
It's a lot, guys, but there's two things. I don't know. I hope we can say this right. One is, first of all, we appreciate the people that ask detailed questions and then appreciate our time and knowledge about Costa Rica and donate to our site for that. I mean, we definitely appreciate
that.
But you got to understand, we get questions that literally have 25
to 30 questions
in the email,
or emails that are constantly being more questions and more questions and more questions.
Guys, if you want us to be your travel planners, we can do that. And actually, we also take private tours around, but you have to go here for that. So if it's anything to do with a bunch of travel planning things, I mean, we'll be glad to help you, but that's kind of more of a paid thing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So we just want to let that out there. Now, every question we go over here in a minute is in more detail right here on our site, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. So we're going to do, we're just going to answer these questions generally, and if you want more specific information,
you can find it on the site.
So first of all, one of the top questions, and these are in no specific order, they ask us, so we're going to Costa Rica, what are the must-sees?
What shouldn't I miss while I'm down there? Well, it all really depends on you, who you are as a person. Are you an athletic person? Are you a hiker? Do you like fishing? Do you like boating? Do you like to see the animals? Do you want to go off the beaten path? It just breaks down to what your interests are.
What he's saying more nicely is that's pretty impossible to answer. We don't know you, man. We don't, it's kind of a depending answer. I mean, there's the tourist attractions and there's this and that, like he was saying. So that's a really difficult question to answer, and we just really can't answer that. So another one would be, which is kind of tied to the weather, but a lot of people ask us, when should we go to Costa Rica? Now, first off, even before we answer that, you got to remember there's like 20-something different mini climates in Costa Rica, a country the size of West Virginia.
There's all kinds of different weather, all different year-round. So the best time, I would say, would probably be the high season down here, when most tourists come down here, and that's from December 15th to about April 15th.
So that's kind of the typical season when a person just wants to see Costa Rica. Now, on the other hand, if you're coming down here for a specific reason, you're a surfer, you're a fisherman, you want to see something specifically, the leatherback turtles nesting, then you've got to
you have to come during a certain time of year for those type of things, because the turtles only come at a certain time of year. The waves only come in certain areas at a certain time of year. Right. So you have to kind of know the time of year.
In other words, if you wanted to surf Salsa Brava down in Puerto Viejo, you wouldn't come in September and October, okay? So now the other thing is, you also, just real quick, would be like the money thing. So during the high season, things are a little bit more expensive, but if you wait till May, yes, there might be a little bit more rain, but you might have a more cost-effective vacation. Yeah. So another question, we get a lot of this. They go, how long would it take? How long would it take us to get from point A to point B? A lot of stuff about travel distances.
Because the map, if you look at the map of Costa Rica, everything looks pretty close by. Say, like you wanted to go from San Jose to La Fortuna, because La Fortuna is a huge tourist destination. A lot of people come this way. Well, it's only about 75 miles apart from each other, but it takes almost 3 hours just to drive that.
If you haven't driven before, maybe for people that do drive it, it's maybe 2.5. But see, the point is, some people try to cram in too much of their vacation, so they're going to be gone a week, and they think they can crisscross the country.
And you can't necessarily do that and have enough time to see stuff, and especially if you're taking the public transportation, the bus systems and stuff like that.
Impossible.
It'll be almost, it's doable, but you're going to spend your whole vacation on a bus.
Really, you're looking at a week's vacation. If you just want to hit the more touristy places, La Fortuna, Monteverde, Manuel Antonio, some of the more Tamarindo, some more popular places, then you're probably in a week. I would only maybe hit three of those places, because you're going to be spending a lot of times in the car. Just don't think that you can look at that map and going, honey, we can get there, and so quickly.
A lot depends on those A lot depends on the road as well, because in the major tourist destinations, the roads are pretty good to those areas, but during the high rainy season where the roads start flooding and stuff, they might not always be a good route to take.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why the distances could take longer, and that kind of follows to our next question. A lot of people ask us about driving in Costa Rica, which we have a couple videos on that you definitely want to check out. But people go, man, we've heard so much bad things about driving here. We think driving is the only way to see Costa Rica personally, but
it's the best way to see Costa Rica. You just got to be aware of the roads and the conditions and the things you might like run into.
So the problem with that is if you're like a very timid in your driving and you're not really used to like different road conditions and you know, because this is a totally different country, I think, when it comes to driving. So you want to check out our videos. That'd probably be the best thing to check those out first. But we think driving here is the way to go. All right, a lot of people, another question is a lot of people ask us about, is it safe to travel in Costa Rica? Because you read a lot of crappy stuff on the internet. You know, a lot about crime around every corner, and
Costa Rica is like any country. There's going to be crime regardless, and you as a traveler can be more aware of it and just be more cautious of your surroundings.
Guys, we have so much information about this. I'd say we have at least 6 or 7 videos. We have our blog sites and our thing. If you look at that information and you follow it, you will be a savvy traveler, and you will cut your risk of being hit with any sort of crime, theft, to just about minimum. Zero. So this whole crime thing, tourists getting ripped off, is, I mean, bottom line is usually the ignorance or the stupidity of the traveler themselves, because they're just not ready. Do your homework on our site and other people's sites, and you will be prepared, and I can almost assure you will not have a problem.
I'd agree.
Another one is, a lot of people complain now, oh, you can't travel in Costa Rica cheap anymore. It's really expensive now. It's just like being in the States.
Which it's true, it is expensive down here if you want to spend your money and you want to go to those expensive places. But there are cheap places in Costa Rica as well. You can go to there's cheap places about $5 a night, or you can find.
Okay, let's start at the base. Do you know anything about couchsurfers.com? If you don't, go here. You don't have to pay anything if you don't want to. And you don't come down to Costa Rica to eat. We're not known for the cuisine down here. So stay out of these touristy places, man. Go to the mom and pop places.
Visit the local areas.
If you want like a personal concierge, and you want, and somebody fanning you while you're sleeping, yeah, you're gonna be paying more. I mean,
I would say there are places in Costa Rica where even the ticos can't afford, and that's a lot of the places where the tourists go, and that's where the big tourist towns are. So if you're looking at it that route, it is expensive. So go where the ticos go, where it's cheaper.
Yeah, and you know what? Go to the farmers markets if you want to, get the fresh fruit, get the vegetables, make some of your own dinners or whatever. But you can definitely do it a lot more on the cheap than people imply. It's usually, if it's expensive, it's because you made it expensive, or whatever. Maybe you had a travel agent kind of set you up and they went all,
right,
$300 a night places, right?
Yep. So if you want to travel on the cheap and that's what you're looking for, it is possible. It is doable here.
Yeah, we think so. Now, another one real quick. Don't get this a total lot, but some. Malaria is down here, but if you're doing the regular tourist thing, your chances of contacting malaria are almost nil and none. Now consult your doctor, whatever, if you're going to be volunteering down here in rural places or whatever.
I mean, it is a possibility, but it's very low.
Right. So anyway, those are pretty much our top questions. And again, if you want these more specifically, go right here to our site, travelcostaricanow.com, and then also visit our blogs and check out our other videos. And I guarantee you'll have tons of info that can answer most of your questions.
That is right.
All right, guys, I'm Michael Allen.
And I'm D'Angelo for travelcostaricanow.com.
Peace, guys. Hope it helps.